What's up, everyone? Have you ever wanted to put your own custom logo on your 3D prints, but thought you needed crazy CAD skills to do it? Well, you don't. Today, I'm going to show you how to do it a fast and easy way using MakerWorld's Image to Keychain tool. Whether you want to make some personalized gear for yourself or you're looking for a quick, profitable product to sell, this is one of the best ways to master the basics of your slicer. Let's jump right into it. Before you begin everything, you want to start off with whatever image that you choose to use. It can be your logo, or as I've done here, I've put this simple logo together on Canvas. Once you have that downloaded, preferably as a PNG because you don't want a background on it, you're going to take it over to MakerWorld and come down here to MakerLab. And at the very top, you choose a drop down and we'll have Image to Keychain. All right, let's just go straight to create from blank and choose your file. All right, since I used a PNG, I don't have a background, so it wouldn't matter if I put this on keep background or to remove the background. Let's go to the next one, confirm again. And now this is showing you all the colors that are in your image. This image has 4 colors, and I have a 4-color printer with the AMS. So it gathered all those colors into one spot. If you have 2 AMSs, you can go with an 8-color. If your image has that many, you can go up to 12. But I only have 4, and I'm actually not going to use the colors that's provided. I'm going to show you how to paint all of the letters and to get everything as colors that you want. Because you see right here, I actually have 2 grays. I don't want 2 grays, so I'm going to take one of them out. Hit confirm. All right, the first thing we want to do is establish what colors we have. Right now I have the 2 grays, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go over here and actually delete one of them. And then on this drop down list where it now has a red arrow or red box with the arrow, I'm going to choose the other gray that I am using. Now I actually don't want this color right here either. So what I'll do is I'll come over here and do the same thing. Make that one into a number 3. I can delete this one because it's no longer needed for me. All right, I went from 4 colors down to 2, but I want to add one. Let's go with that. And I'm going to go with a baby blue for my letters. Just hit the check mark. Your first thought would be to just go here and change it to the baby blue, but it's going to affect this. So I'm going to go back to that, to pink. What I'll do, I'll make a group out of all of the letters. Just hold shift and click all of them. Okay, now that you have all of them selected, we're going to come over here to the left and click create a group. And now if I just want to change that one group of all the letters, I'll just click it, and I'll come down here and I'll choose the color that I would like to be. And I want it to be the baby blue, and that's what you have. Okay, I have all of my colors done. Now it's time to work on the second menu, which is the plate thickness. Give a demonstration on which one means what. All right, we have here is the default. The default just shows you have your top layer for the image, and then on the back side, there's nothing. If I didn't have letters, you wouldn't see this. It would just be one solid piece. You can choose whichever color you'd like that to be if you want to keep it. If you want to change it to actually have a bigger background, just like that, you can do it this way. You can choose whatever shape that you like it to be. If you want to make this into, say, a keychain, just drop a hole in up here and this circle will be perfect for it. This one will put the image through the background. That way it shows on both sides. And this one is without a background to it at all. All right, let's go back to our original. I want to show you next is the thickness. If you still want to keep this background right here, come here and change this to a number that you're comfortable with. I'm gonna go with 3, make it taller, just like that. Then if I want to make my image taller, I'll just increase that. We're not gonna worry about the face down mode because you can do that yourself in the slicer. All right, now that we have that done, I want to take off this bottom. Reason being is because of what we're working on. And what we're working on is this can koozie here. This is a design by Animal67 from MakerWorld. You can find this on his Patreon or just his MakerWorld page. We're going to be adding the image to this lid. We're going to go over ways to make it flush with the top and how to reposition and resize it. And I'm going to show you the exact reason why I'm going to remove the background from the image. To do so, we just click this menu and choose the double-sided. All right, now that I have the background removed, we can move on to the image. Before we go over to Bambu Studio, I like to go ahead and reduce the thickness of the image. In order to prevent all of those color changes, I'm going to reduce this to 3 layers thick. I know from my Bambu Studio that I'm working with a 0.20, so I'm going to go with a 0.6 thickness. Just to show you that it changed. That's the 1, that's the 0.6. Now we have that done. We can go ahead and download this file. Make sure that you use the 3MF file. All right, now it's already there. I have it saved. We're gonna just open it up. And in Bambu Studio, it'll ask you, how do you wanna do it? Is it open this project or import geometry only? I'm gonna import geometry only. And it'll import to whichever plate that you already have highlighted. Let's drag this out from under there because I have to recolor this. To recolor, I recommend going ahead and making this into one single part because at any given moment, you could grab this and it accidentally pull something away, just like that. You don't want that to happen. It's a lot easier on you if you go ahead and select everything under the keychain draft, which that's what mine is called, and right click and merge it to a single part. Now that we have that in a single part, I'm gonna make this primary color my blue. So I'll just hit 1 on the keyboard after I've clicked it. And now everything is blue. This will make it easier on me when I go into the paint. You just click on it and hit this paint bucket here. And we're gonna go to the fill. Crank this up to about 50. And you're gonna click on each one. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and take it up to 80. As we know, this one is pink. You wanna click the sides, insides, back, get all of it. All right, make it easier on me even more. Color the whole thing. That. Now I have my image completely colored. I can go back out. Let's flip over this lid. Now I have that lid flipped over. Let's just hold the shift key and highlight everything. And you're gonna merge it together. What this does is it puts it all together right here. I'm gonna take advantage of it being merged together by making it line up with each other without doing any extra work. Come up here to move. And you're gonna have all of these adjustments right here. As you hover over them, you see that there is a gray line that shows you where it would go. I want it to be centered, so I'll come right here. On the center for the x-axis, sometimes you have to click it a few times. All right, now the gray line is finally actually in the center of the lid. Just click it. All right, now I want it to come directly to the surface of this lid. And you're come over here to the Z and Z top. Just click. There it is at the very top. All right, you remember that my letters are actually blue, so we're gonna go over here and change just the lid to a white color. Click 4, and boom, just like that. That is done. If you don't feel comfortable with how it's making this staticky noise to it, that's fine. Just go over and click on the merge parts, which is your logo. Come up here to move, and you're gonna increase this number by a 10th. No, by 1/100th. Go to a 5, and it's clear as day now. Now that we have it centered, let's see if we can get it centered on the y-axis as well. And now we can increase the size. You come right here to scale, just grab a corner and increase it till you get to the edges that you'd like. All right, if you notice, some of my numbers changed right here. When we were in the image to keychain, this was a 60. I changed that. That's fine. Just uncheck this here, because when it's checked, all of this changes evenly. So I'll uncheck, and then I'll put this back at a 0.6. I'll come back over here to move, and I'll make sure that's on the top layer. Go ahead and click it. It may already be there. And it kept our 21.95. That's why you're seeing the image so clearly now. Just for this build only, because this is a lid and this is a straw hole right here, I need to show you how to make sure that that logo doesn't just print across the hole. I've already created this negative part, but I'm going to delete it just so we can do that. All right, the way we do this is click on your lid, get it positioned right, and let's add a negative part. We're going to go with a cylinder. It'll sit off to the side for now, but I need to get the measurements of this hole. Click on the lid and then go to the ruler up here, and you're going to go across the center. I know that it's 4.928. Just multiply that times 2. It's approximately 10 millimeters. So I'm gonna get that negative part, and I'm gonna increase its width to 10 and the scale. Let's go 10.3 in case you want to use a 10 millimeter straw. The 10, get that across there, same. And you can keep the same height. Let's get it positioned right again, the top, and we're gonna go over with it. Get that centered. All right, we can just drag it directly up. Get close up on the cylinder now and get this in the center as best as possible. Pretty even all the way around. All right, once you hover out, you can see that the cylinder actually goes above. Let's make it a little taller just in case. 27. All right, now that it is all on the lid, we have the hole open. Now what you have to do is print this face down. And this is why we skipped that option in the image to keychain. Hit return, select the lid, make sure that it's selecting the assembly and not the lid alone. Because if you select the lid alone and you go up here and try to rotate it, everything's gonna stay in position. So let's just undo. Make sure assembly is clicked, and use these tabs in the middle, these lines right here, to lock in. And it'll automatically put it face down, just like that. Just do a quick check on the slicer. And it is ugly right now, so let's fix that. For this, I do not need supports. No brim is on, so that's good. Hit slice again. It's still not in the condition that I want, so let's clean it up even more. We're gonna come over here to quality, scroll all the way down, and we're gonna hit only one wall, first layer. What that does, instead of doing this 1, 2, 3 walls right here, so I'm gonna make one wall for all the letters and everything that surrounds the letters. Also gonna turn on Arachne wall generator. I don't need this ironing on. And on the initial layer flow, you're gonna make that a 1.1. Hit slice. And as you can see, the one line around it instead of the 3. If you want to clean it up even more, there's 2 things you can do. One, the software side is drop this down to say 0.3. Slice it, make the lines thinner. Make sure that you do the initial layer line width. That way that these lines will only be that width on the very first layer. If you need even further detail, the physical part to change is to go with a 0.2 millimeter nozzle. All right, we're gonna send this to the printer and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. All right, we have the final product. I went ahead and printed the entire koozie. Just want to show what it looked like. As for the lid, take a look, and that one line on initial layer paid off. I'm using a glacier plate by Big Q. I think that's how you pronounce it. I like to use it because it leaves a lot smoother layer. It doesn't have that high texture like the stock plates do. Getting a closer look. Very clean print. Helps out with that change in the initial layer flow as well. Make sure you don't have any gaps. But that is how you add a logo to a print. This one actually came out pretty good for me. If you have any questions about this process, just reach out down in the comments below. I can walk you through it if something was missed that I didn't mention, or you just have a 3D printing question in general. I'm going to start doing more videos on 3D printing, as well as doing the repairs on the printer and some 3D modeling. I appreciate you sticking around for this one. If you would, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.